My HOA president was using a drone to spy on me, so I gave them an inspection they would never forget. I got fined $40 for sidewalk chalk when our neighborhood is all families. I got fined $40 for keeping a tomato plant in the sun on my front porch during the virus. I got fined $40 for keeping my daughter's bike in the driveway during the day. But the last straw was when my neighbor was fined $30 per day for 3 months because he built a wheelchair ramp for his disabled father. The HOA said he never received permission, but he had, just from the city. They sent him a bill for over $30,000 until he just decided to move instead of deal with that any longer. They are so militant, and it is all the neighborhood can talk about. Just the other day a couple of the families were at the community pool and the president, Mrs. Kolaski, came over to us like a tipped-off cop with a chip on their shoulder and wrote us all tickets for taking outside beverages other than water into the pool area. On top of all of that, they raise all our HOA fees every year since we've lived here. It is outrageous. Mrs. Kolaski is drunk with power and can't be stopped. I am a quiet neighbor. I don't want to be a bother. I mow my lawn on Saturdays after 11 a.m. when I know everyone is all the way awake. I don't blast loud music when I work out in the garage. I don't have a beat-up old car in my driveway. And yet, I am constantly harassed by my HOA for the smallest of offenses. It's like Mrs. Kolaski waits in her car to write tickets at 12:01 p.m. for all the neighbors who have not brought in their trash cans yet. How can I explain to her that people are at work? They will bring them in when they get home. Anyway, you can tell I am extremely close to this issue. I love my neighborhood. My wife and I have so many close friends here and so do our children. But I've had landlords who give me more freedom than this dang HOA. I hate them and will never, ever again be a part of one. The other day was an actual deal breaker. It made me feel like it was time to start packing boxes. I realized a pattern. There was a drone surveying the neighborhood. At first I thought it was just a kid flying a drone they had got for Christmas or something, but then it flew low enough for me to make out the model, and it was far too nice to belong to a kid. It was one of the bulkier ones, with a 4K camera and stabilization. I knew it couldn't belong to a kid because the remotes for those kinds come in like metal briefcases and they cost hundreds and hundreds of dollars. And that's when the ticket came in. My HOA was fining me for keeping our bikes on the back porch now. My neighbors had similar stories. They were getting fined for their hidden doghouse in their backyard. We were all together at the HOA-approved fire pit when we made the realization. She was using a drone to spy on us to fine us for violations she couldn't see from the road. At that point, I was worried some of the dads in the neighborhood were going to light a torch, grab their pitchforks and storm Mrs. Kolaski's pristine weed-free yard that very night. But we were able to talk sense. We were going to try and fight from within the system. Some of the moms were going to try and join the HOA board themselves, memorize all the bylaws, and start fining her for every tiny violation they could find. We said that the moment the tables are turned, they would back off, but I knew that that wouldn't be enough.